Chapter 14. Finally found my purpose. It had been a little over a month, and I had not received one call or email about being accepted by the police academy. My motivation to eat right and exercise was slowly dying by the day. My salads were boring to eat, and I fell back to my old habits. Being in the house all the time with very little social life, I started to have an itch to go out and meet some people. The only people that I had contact with were my parents and a few people at the gym. I decided to ask a front desk guy for places to go to hang out and have a good time. He told me to talk to the general manager of the gym, a guy by the name of Walt Williams. Walt was a short, muscular guy, but had a big personality. Walking into his office and introducing myself, I asked him for places to hang out that would be fun for a guy like me. He invited me to go out with him and his friends. After being cooped up in the house for a few months, it felt really good to socialize with somebody. Later that evening, I started to have doubts about going out. Looking at the mirror at my size 6X shirt, I felt disgusted. I didn't want to stand Walt up, especially since it was our first time hanging out. I surely did not want his first impression of me to be a flake. The night out was fun, and I met some good guys that were in the fitness field. They drove new cars with shiny new rims, and they made quite an impression on me. There was no doubt in my mind that they were all doing well financially in the fitness industry. My reality was that there is no way I could bring in NFL checks working in a gym, but I really didn't want to live a lifestyle that would have me struggling paycheck to paycheck. After observing them, I noticed how confident they were, and I admired them. On our way home, Walt and I had a conversation that changed my life forever. We talked about my playing days in the NFL and how he would have loved to play on a professional level. For some reason, he made me feel like I could trust him, and I shared with him my troubles of me trying to transition from the NFL life. I shared that I was trying to get into the police academy, but with no luck yet, I was still waiting for their call. He mentioned something I honestly can say never crossed my mind. He asked, "Have you ever thought about being a personal trainer? You definitely have the exercise history, and with your experience playing in the NFL, you can help many lives." I quietly sat back because I was thinking of why I never thought of being a trainer before. I asked him about the process of becoming a trainer, and he told me to go online and earn an accredited certification. After he dropped me off at my house, I rushed upstairs and surfed online, looking up different certifications. The conversation with my new friend definitely piqued my interest, but negative thoughts stormed in my head. Thoughts like, "You can't be a personal trainer because you're too fat. And who is going to listen to you with your stomach hanging over your belt?" The next day, I went to the gym to talk to Walt about which certification I should purchase so I could work at the gym with him. He got out of his chair and walked me around the gym to the office of a guy by the name of Ambrose Laburu. Ambrose stood about 5'9" on a good day, but his presence and confidence matched the size of a giant. He was a smooth talker and a great motivator. He was someone who could talk a homeless guy out of his last dollar. He was great with his words and made anyone feel like they could do anything. Before exiting his office, he gave me advice that will forever change my life. He said, "If you really want to help others, you must first be the example." For the first time in a long time, I went home with a sense of purpose I had not felt since playing in the NFL. Later that evening, I purchased a certification package and waited for my textbooks and other tools to arrive in the mail. At the University of New Mexico, I was never enthusiastic about reading books for classes or doing any type of schoolwork. The first day I received my books in the mail and started my journey in becoming a certified personal trainer, I was so excited. This new feeling I had was something special. I studied day and night, learning chapter after chapter. Learning about the anatomy of the body and how the body performs had my full attention. I finally understood about nutrition and why I was not losing weight with my weight loss nutrition practices. For example, I didn't know sugar turns into fat, so all those bowls of Fruity Pebbles were just helping me to add on the pounds. I learned that the high fat content in the ranch dressing was building more fatty acids, which in turn helped me to put on more weight. Eating only 2 times a day was not good because I learned I was slowing my metabolism. The knowledge I was gaining from my certification process was mind-blowing and made me feel slightly better about why I failed to lose weight with the approach I was using. In just under 4 weeks, I finished the course and was ready to take my test. People say when you are passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. Well, I can say I was not sure that training was my passion at that particular time, but I knew the yearning to learn was new to me. I became addicted to this new way of learning because I finally grew to believe I can truly begin my fitness journey and actually hit my goals. In order for me to become a personal trainer to help others, I had to pass my exam at an off-site location. To my surprise, I did not feel nervous at all. I knew the information from the book like the back of my hand. I arrived at the test site ready to go. The test instructor stopped me in my tracks and informed me that my CPR card was invalid. At this point, both my nerves and blood pressure started to rise. My CPR card was supposed to be signed, but for some reason, the CPR instructor had stamped the card but not signed it. Frantically, I started reaching out to the CPR instructor so he could authorize my card over the telephone. All I needed was for him to say I successfully completed the CPR course. You would think that should be an easy fix, but the CPR instructor was in a meeting, so I had to wait for him to call the test site when the meeting was over. My hands began to feel sweaty, and those negative thoughts sparked in my brain again. My mind was telling me to go home and reschedule, but I would have to wait 2 more weeks until I could retake the test. After waiting a little over an hour, the CPR instructor finally called and confirmed that I completed the course at his location. Finally, I was able to take the test, which took no more than 30 minutes. My nervousness returned when it was time to learn the results. The instructor was happy to inform me that I had passed the exam with flying colors. I was so happy to reach the emotional achievement I have not felt since leaving the NFL. The realization that I actually may be able to do well in this field was a momentum changer for my attitude and also a great mental boost for my confidence. Now, the true test of changing my body was about to begin.